You know, today I ran across this video and it was called "Why Pharrell Never Respected Drake." And you know, Drake just went through this beef with Kendrick Lamar. He got smoked, and he hasn't recovered since. He haven't recovered since. So I wanted to check it out because I know in the beef, that's when I found out him and Pharrell had things going on. They had issues. I never knew that. So I like the fact that we have this YouTube family here. I'm gonna react to a video, and this video is by an hip hop madness. And go over there, give the video a like, you know, subscribe if you like the content. But this is a good breakdown. I like these videos because it allows us to go back and catch up on what we miss, right? So let's see what this is because I'm kind of interested. What was it about Pharrell? Because from what I heard, Drake bought some of Pharrell's jewelry, and I don't know what happened after.
Against Common, Meek Mill, Pusha T, and more recently, Kendrick Lamar. Yet, one rivalry stands out for its peculiar one-sidedness, and it's his ongoing tension with Pharrell Williams. Despite Drake's repeated taunts, sneak disses, and outright jabs, Pharrell has maintained a stoic silence, never directly engaging. And their dynamic is as puzzling as it is intriguing, with fans speculating about what keeps Pharrell silent in the face of Drake constantly trying to provoke him. But what many don't realize is Pharrell's tension with Drake actually traces back over a decade. And it didn't even begin with Drake. It started with Lil Wayne, and even before that, with Birdman. But to fully understand the roots of this ongoing beef, we need to rewind.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Born on April 5th, 1973, Pharrell grew up in the Atlantis Projects in Virginia Beach. His love for music began as he listened to old records lying around the house, which prompted him to listen to the likes of Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, and others. As Pharrell's interest in music grew, his grandmother gave him his first snare drum, and Pharrell's journey in music began. Pharrell joined the school band as a percussionist, where he met Chad Hugo, who played the saxophone. P and Chad connected instantly and began making music together nonstop. Inspired by the King Neptune statue on Virginia Beach and their roots in the Atlantis Projects, it seemed fitting to call themselves the Neptunes. Virginia Beach didn't exactly have a booming music scene like New York or Los Angeles, which initially left Pharrell feeling hopeless about pursuing a music career. However, this changed when Teddy Riley moved into the area and opened a studio called Future Records, right across from Pharrell's high school. By that time, Riley had already achieved legendary status in the music industry, working with artists like Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and most famously, Michael Jackson. To give back to the community, Riley
It's all legends right there. All legends. Now that's got to be amazing. You move down there, and actually, the Teddy Riley moves in next to you and brings a record company. Like you ain't got that's God just delivering on whatever your faith was. So it's like Pharrell. It's like that comment with Malcolm X goes, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us." The music literally landed right, boom, right across the street. Let's do it. You ain't got no choice.
began hosting talent shows at Pharrell's school. Instantly impressed by Pharrell and Chad's talent, Riley brought them into his studio, and the duo later signed with his label. Pharrell soon found himself contributing to Riley's work on the record Rump Shaker by Rex and Effect, which earned him major writing credit.
I did not know he was a part of that. That was a big record. All I want to do is zoom, zoom in a boom, boom. Just shake your rump. Wow.
It's for his contribution, and from there, his career began to really take off. Under Riley's mentorship, the duo honed their craft and quickly became some of the most sought-after producers and writers in the music industry. They collaborated with artists ranging from Gwen Stefani and Justin Timberlake to Snoop Dogg, producing over 24 songs that reached the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts. By 2001, Pharrell and Chad Hugo had established their own label imprint, Star Trek Entertainment. The label became home to an impressive roster of talent, including Khalees, Robin Thicke, and Teyana Taylor, as well as a joint venture with Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style record label. And most notably, Star Trek signed the rap duo Clips.
Now I remember that part, but I did not know Teddy Riley's the one that gave him their start. I did not know that, and that was my time. I was there. I was partying, youngster, and that was a good time for music. That was create the way hip hop was carved heavily in that area, carved heavily, and it doesn't matter what coast you went to. East Coast, that was more of the down south Virginia area. He carved that up because there was nothing there that was urbanly hip hop, I should say. Urbanly hip hop.
Pharrell's and Chad's innovative production style was gaining serious attention far and wide, including from none other than Birdman, who wanted to capitalize on the fresh, game-changing sound the Neptunes were bringing to the table. The song, What Happened to That Boy, came to fruition as the Cash Money and Star Trek camps came together on one of the biggest songs of the year. The track's infectious production and unconventional flows from both Birdman and Clips made it an instant hit. While the track was a success, it also became the starting point for Pharrell and Pusha T's long-lasting beef with Cash Money. Basically, Birdman, who is notoriously known for being frugal with his money, reported.
Now, I did not know they had beef. I really did not know that. Like, there's so many. I guess, you can't catch everything, but that's something I really didn't know.
Never paid Pharrell or Chad Hugo for the instrumental of What Happened to That Boy. This financial slight would create the divide between Pharrell and the Cash Money camp. From that point on, tensions escalated between Birdman and Pharrell and their respective crews. This included Pusha T and the rest of Clips on one side, and Cash Money artists like Lil Wayne on the other. The situation worsened in 2005 when Lil Wayne entered the picture. He initially asked Pharrell for a Billionaire Boys Club outfit to wear in a music video, but Pharrell refused, still understandably bitter for not being paid for the What Happened to That Boy beat. Undeterred, Wayne purchased the clothes himself and rocked them in his video anyway. In the 2006 Smack DVD video, Wayne even doubled down by
So let me ask you a question. Is for Pharrell being salty? Should he has... That's kind of being salty, right? That's definitely kind of being salty. Like, why? Because Birdman is kind of like the guy that was on top. So if he got issue with Birdman, what does that have to do with Wayne? Well, I guess he could say they're all compromised and that he don't trust any one of them. We could say that too, right? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. But this stuff go deep, don't it? Deep, deep, deep.
Rocking Bape, another brand Pharrell had deep ties to through his friendship with Japanese designer and owner Nigo. To top it off, Wayne flaunted his all Bape look on the cover of Vibe magazine to continue getting back at Pharrell. The feud escalated musically in 2006 when Clips and Pharrell responded with the track Mr. Me Too. The song took direct shots at Wayne, with No Malice delivering the cutting line, "Bite the style from the shoes to the watches," and Lil Wayne didn't hold back in his rebuttal. In the now infamous 2006 interview with Complex, he dismissed Pharrell outright, saying, "Who the f is Pharrell? Do you really respect him? And wore Bapes and y'all thought he was weird. I wore it and y'all thought it was hot. Come on now." Then walked around.
That's when you look around and you see all that. That's that sneak dissing going on. That's that behind the scenes sneak dissing in photos and Instagram posts. That's crazy.
Respect him and wore Bapes and y'all thought he was weird. I wore it and y'all thought it was hot. Come on now. Then walked around with that looked like you. Y'all thought he was crazy. If I did it, y'all gonna think these are killers. After dissing Pharrell, Lil Wayne continued a beef that was already 5 years old. However, Pharrell never officially responded to these remarks. Understandably, Clips defended Pharrell, but the beef would be dormant for a couple of years until a newcomer entered the industry. Drake and Pusha T's feud is one of hip-hop's most storied rivalries, marked by years of subliminal shots, direct disses, and moments that shook the culture. However, not many people know it was a part of a larger beef between Pharrell and Cash Money, because after Drake signed to Cash Money Records and was deeply loyal to his mentor Lil Wayne,
this is something else I didn't know. I just thought, wow. So for this whole Pharrell has been involved from day one when it comes to this beef. So does that mean that Kendrick and Wayne is definitely going to battle each other? I think that battle is going to happen no matter what we do. Either before the Super Bowl, it's going to heat up. It's going to heat up.
He found himself inheriting the beef with Pusha T. Push set his sights on Drake in the track Don't F With Me, a diss track built on Drake's own Dreams Money Can Buy beat, after Pusha felt Drake subbed him with this line. In the song, Pusha fired multiple shots, including a jab at Drake's lyric writing and a critique of his unwillingness to confront Kanye West and Jay-Z directly. The rivalry continued for a while, with sporadic shots traded between the two on various tracks from 2013, but the beef reached its boiling point in 2018, when Pusha released Daytona. Closing track, Infrared, reignited the feud by accusing Drake of relying on ghostwriters. Drake quickly responded with Duppy Freestyle, which, as we all know by now, prompted Pusha T to release arguably one of the most brutal diss tracks in hip-hop history with The Story of Adidon, resulting in...
Still a classic. Just the artwork alone is still a classic.
Drake's first public L. But this is where things start to get interesting, because 3 years on from...
All right, here we go now. Here we go. We're getting in the dirty. Let's do it.
Drake's 2021 feud with Pusha, after the passing of Virgil Abloh, Pharrell was named the new creative director of Louis Vuitton, and this didn't sit well with Drake. During a transformative period in his career, Pharrell launched one of the world's first online auction platforms, which he named Jupiter. The inaugural auction, titled Son of a Pharaoh, was a tribute to his father, Pharrell Williams, and featured a curated collection of items that carried monumental significance in hip-hop history. Among the pieces up for bidding were several iconic chains from Pharrell's time in the music and fashion industries. These included his billionaire Boys Club pendant, a symbol of his groundbreaking clothing brand, his NERD chain, representing his legendary music group, and even a solid gold Sony PSP. Before the auction, these artifacts were displayed in New
Damn. So it's one of these that Drake bought?
York City on October 15th, 2022, before being sold later that month. Pharrell announced that the proceeds from the auction would be donated to Black Ambition, an initiative he founded to support Latinx and Black entrepreneurs, particularly women. And thanks to this noble cause and the incredible value of the items up for sale, the auction was a...
So, yo, yeah, I can't sit there and say Drake don't support the culture, because he did buy Pharrell jewelry, which went to support. So that's the connection right there. Drake does support Black people, Black culture. He bought Pharrell's chain just for clout, but the money, the proceeds went to a good cause.
a massive success, grossing over $5.25 million, most of which came from an anonymous buyer. Shortly after this auction in 2022, Drake and 21 Savage dropped their collaborative album, Her Loss, which included Drake's solo track, Jumbotron Poppin'. In early 2023, the music video for the song sparked controversy as it prominently showcased Pharrell's iconic jewelry and auctioned items. From start to finish, Drake flexed these pieces, making it clear he had purchased nearly every notable chain from the Son of a Pharaoh auction. The video was filled with shots of Drake.
He even got the PSP too. So was this him paying homage, or was this taking shots at Pharrell back then? I'm trying to catch up on this stuff. The first time I heard about it was in the K-Dot beef with him and K-Dot. But if you've know anything about this, let me know what that was about. Was it paying homage for Pharrell, or they were already beefing here?
Pharrell's iconic jewelry and auctioned items. From start to finish, Drake flexed these pieces, making it clear he had purchased nearly every notable chain from the Son of a Pharaoh auction. The video was filled with shots of Drake flaunting Pharrell's chains, a move seemingly intended to taunt him. And despite his deliberate effort, Pharrell chose to keep it classy and not respond to.
So, if you bought my jewelry for whatever price I asked you for, why would I care what you do with them? That's all I'm saying. Like why does he need to? It's not like there's one thing if he went to his house and took them junks, and then they show up at my house and showing you I got them and you ain't doing nothing. That's something different. But you bought them. You got your receipt, right?
Drake's antics. Later in 2023, Drake took the rivalry further on the track Meltdown from Travis Scott's album Utopia. This time, Drake dissed both Pharrell and Pusha T with the lines that made his intentions crystal clear. My schedule is out. Come spin us. For real. Man, forget all that spinning the narrative stuff. I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss. Give a damn about all of that heritage stuff. Now, Drake obviously doesn't hold back here, with fans speculating that his emphasis on the words "for real" was a subtle nod to Pharrell, especially since he immediately launches into a diss aimed squarely at Pusha T. Drake taunts Pusha by referring to the jewelry he bought from Pharrell's auction, mocking Pusha T by calling Pharrell his quote-unquote boss. And since Pusha T was signed to Pharrell's label Star Trek early in his career, Drake uses this connection to demean both Pharrell and Pusha, diminishing the significance of Pharrell's jewelry by threatening to melt it down, a statement underscoring how little he values Pharrell's legacy and heritage tied to Pharrell's contributions to hip-hop. But Drake didn't stop there and followed up with even more jabs, delivering lines like, "Since V not around, the members done hung up the Louis. They not even wearing that stuff. Don't come to the boy about repairing some stuff. Don't come to the boy about sparing some stuff. You lucky that Vogue was suing, because I would have been with the Wasses in Paris and stuff." Here, Drake laments the passing of Virgil Abloh and takes aim at Pharrell, now the creative director at Louis Vuitton, insinuating that the brand has lost its edge under Pharrell's leadership. He even loosely threatens that he would have shown up to Pharrell's first Louis Vuitton show in Paris with the Was Gang, a Toronto street gang. However, due to his legal battle with Condé Nast, the media conglomerate behind Vogue, he didn't have the time. The settled lawsuit happened after Drake and 21 Savage launched a fake press campaign for their album.
I swear, man, Drake be going hard, man. He R&B singer dude. Chill out.
Her Loss, which included parody content like a mock NPR Tiny Desk, SNL performance, and Vogue cover, which Condé Nast sued them for copyright infringement. Unlike Drake's typical subliminal disses, this verse is a blatant attack on Pharrell. leaving no room for misinterpretation. The tension also placed Travis Scott in an awkward position, as Pharrell produced and co-wrote the track Love, featuring Kid Cudi on Utopia. Additionally, Pharrell and Travis had recently collaborated on the song Down in Atlanta. Still, despite Drake's repeated provocations, Pharrell refused to respond, maintaining his silence and composure. In 2024, Kendrick Lamar returned to the spotlight with a show-stopping verse on Metro Boomin and Future's We Don't Trust You. On the track Like That, Kendrick teased his reemergence, but it wasn't until Drake dropped push-ups that the gloves came off. Kendrick fired back with his first direct diss track aimed at Drake titled Euphoria. In it, Kendrick spits, "I don't like you pop."
When Euphoria came out, everybody was like, shit, that's what real rapping sound like. We knew it was over from then because we could tell he's on a different time. He was on a different time.
And stuff with Pharrell. For him, I inherit the beef. Yeah, forget all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. You better off spinning again on him before you think about pushing me. Here, Kendrick shows his loyalty to Pharrell, making it clear he's stepping in to defend him after.
And that's what's so crazy about this. Pharrell's been involved in every like with the whole beef, and he's gonna push Wayne into it now as well. I'm seeing it coming. I see it coming. Yeah, I see it coming.
Years of Drake's taunts. By saying he inherits the beef, Kendrick draws a parallel to how Drake inherited Lil Wayne's feud with Pusha T. The Pushin' P line works on multiple levels, referencing both the Gunna and Future hit Pushin' P and Pharrell's nickname, P. Now, at this point, this feud has drawn in some of hip-hop's most influential figures, with Drake, Pusha T, Pharrell, and Kendrick at the center of a battle that blends legacy, personal grievances, and creative rivalries. But Drake wasn't done, because on his diss track Family Matters, using both his lyrics and the accompanying music video to deliver a pointed response, Drake dropped the line, "You want to take it for Pharrell? And come get his legacy out of my house." This was a direct jab at Kendrick, with Drake essentially taunting him to retrieve Pharrell's possessions and quote-unquote legacy, now in Drake's hands following the Jupiter auction. It's a sly remark, implying.
But it's not like you stole it from Pharrell or you went up there and got it with your people. You bought it. You paid for it. He was selling it. He's the one, you bought his trash. He was getting rid of it. So how you gonna sit there and claim, come get my legacy out of your house when he sold it to you? You got a receipt. That would only stand if you went and took it. If you went and took that junk, then you could talk smack. Other than that, nah.
That if Kendrick truly wants to inherit Pharrell's beef, he should have stepped up and purchased the items himself. In the video, Drake reinforces this sentiment by again prominently displaying Pharrell's iconic chains, which are worn by his longtime accountant, OVO Juju. This visual flex makes it clear that Drake is claiming ownership of Pharrell's legacy, at least in a material sense, and doesn't intend to remove his foot from his neck. Kendrick responded decisively with 2 back-to-back tracks, Meet the Grams and Not Like Us, which effectively destroyed Drake in this beef and shifted the narrative in Kendrick's favor by the early summer of 2024. These tracks continued Kendrick's strategy of exposing Drake's alleged private misdeeds.
Destroyed him so bad that right now the boy's in court with UMG. He's in court because he doesn't want Not Like Us to play at the Super Bowl. The boy.
And casting doubt on his public persona. Pharrell, who had remained silent throughout this feud, finally broke his silence indirectly. Just weeks after Kendrick's diss tracks, Pharrell released Double Life, a song from the Despicable Me 4 soundtrack.
I heard about
the track
this.
was written for a children's movie, the lyrics raised eyebrows, as they seemed to address many of the issues Kendrick had brought to light about Drake. The song contains lines like, "Hey, what are you hiding? What are you doing when you're gone? Your life, double-sided, two-faced like coins. What side do I get? Which side are you on?" These lyrics were widely interpreted as Pharrell calling out Drake for leading a quote-unquote double life, with Pharrell basically questioning Drake's authenticity, suggesting he isn't the person he presents to the public. The track continues with, "Some of your dirt has come to light. Why were you speeding up that hill until the brakes come off? And someone saw you in a fight. Am I right?" Here, Pharrell seems to acknowledge.
I actually listened to this song when it came out, and it does resonate to Drake a lot. It seemed like he was really talking to Drake. And it's a kid's song. But if you listen to what he was saying, it does. But I do believe that. I do believe that one. And then again, look what they putting into our kids' music, y'all.
Acknowledge and confirm the rumors Kendrick exposed. The chorus alludes to Drake's jet-setting lifestyle and suggests that his reputation is now hanging by a thread. "You got cars to drive, plenty of jets to fly. When will you arrive? You're running out of time. Don't you see that everything's on the line? Considering Pharrell's history of maintaining an almost monk-like demeanor, Double Life stands out as an unusually pointed response. P's response, delivered through a song for a children's movie, aligns with his ethos of non-confrontation while still addressing the situation in his own way. And whether intentional or not, Double Life added another layer to this decade-long feud, and it's a move that perfectly encapsulates Pharrell's ability to respond without compromising his reputation for peace and professionalism. Pharrell Williams is a man of many roles: a creative director at Louis Vuitton, a key partner with Adidas, the founder of a skincare line, an advisor to Nigo's brand Human Made, and he's still a prolific music producer for artists across the industry. His ventures span far beyond music, even including a unique biographical collaboration with Lego to create a movie about his life. With so many business partnerships and creative endeavors, Pharrell has mastered the art of maintaining a clean track record and preserving his relationships. And this was on full display during a recent GQ interview, where he accepted the award for Fashion Designer of the Year. When questioned about his reluctance to address controversies, Pharrell offered a thoughtful and philosophical response. Silence is an exercise. Allowing your work to speak for you is an exercise. Being okay with the fact that most people are going to miss it. Being extra okay with the fact that the people who don't miss it, who decide they want to act like it was their idea, they're going to get very loud about it, and they're going to get the credit for it, until some of the real sleuths out there will be like, nah, here go the receipts, and you wait on that, but you stay in silence. You don't say nothing. As Pusha says, if you know, you know. Later during...
And that's the thing right there. When you do work and you put in good work, you don't have to speak. You let the work speak for itself. And you know, there's a lot going on in the industry. There's a lot of bad things going on. But you know what? When it comes to Pharrell, he hasn't been linked to any of this stuff. You know, there's certain people that just put in there to make good music, be good to other people, don't take advantage of people. You know, and Pharrell, you know, even though he's been part of some of these beefs, and I think the next one's getting ready to start up, you know, he's kind of like just stay in his lane. You know, it's just like Kendrick. Kendrick's not on IG making posts, it comes out in the records and the music. The next time you want to hear me speak about something controversial, listen to my next song. And it doesn't matter if it's on Disney or Metro Boomin, it's gonna say something that you should listen to.
In the interview, the discussion turned to Drake's purchase of Pharrell's iconic jewelry during the Jupiter auction. And when asked about the sale, Pharrell downplayed its significance and dismissed any personal attachment to the items. You never realize how much all the stuff you have weighs on you, but it does. You don't know until you get rid of it. The muscles in my back, now they work without straining. When you let that go, man, you feel so free. At this point, when the interview...
So is that how you feel about all that jewelry Drake bought? Drake, he was happy to get that garbage out of his house. And you clearly played for it. Good money too. And I'm sure they appreciate everything. But let's get down to it. This is a video about Pharrell hates Drake. And we're coming out to the end. So far, the only thing Drake did was he bought his jewelry. He donated. Actually, Drake donated to Pharrell's cause. And Pharrell's upset. That's what I fucking see. Excuse my language, but right? Isn't that what happened? He could flaunt it all he want. He bought it, right? Drake paid for it. So leave him the hell alone.
Further referencing...
Hey, I always look at things from both sides, right? The man invested his money. Whatever he wants to do with it is his problem. You just can't bring that into a beef, bro.
Drake's purchase, Pharrell's response was remarkably calm and concise. Here, Pharrell continued to project an air of indifference, even calling Drake remarkably calm and concise. The interviewer pressed further, referencing Drake's purchase. Pharrell's response was remarkably calm and concise. Here, Pharrell continued to project an air of indifference, even calling Drake a quote-unquote fan and highlighting his obsession for hip-hop memorabilia. At the heart of all of it, he's a fan of music. He's a fan of the history of what it is, and I happen to be a part of that. And those artifacts are a part of that. Now, Drake's fascination with hip-hop history is well documented. He was once an active member of the Neptune's online forums in the early 2000s and even spent $200 on a microphone signed by Pusha T, a subtle nod Pharrell seemed to allude to. And when the interviewer brought up Drake's disses on Meltdown and Family Matters, Pharrell's lack of concern remained steadfast. And then he was rapping about melting the jewelry down and saying, come get his legacy out of my house and all that stuff. How did that strike you? It didn't. When you let things go, a huge part of it is actually letting go, not just of the physical item, but letting go of your connection to what it's supposed to mean, or the memory. That was the purpose. Despite Drake's repeated attempts to beef, Pharrell remains unbothered, focusing instead on his broader legacy and responsibilities. It's a sharp contrast to Drake, who has long been known for holding grudges, petty remarks, and sneak dissing throughout his career. Meanwhile, Pharrell has faced far bigger challenges in his career, from the Blurred Lines lawsuit with Robin Thicke over Marvin Gaye's intellectual property to his recent legal fallout with former Neptune's collaborator Chad Hugo. Pharrell has navigated controversies with grace, even under public scrutiny or facing animal rights protests at his shows. He's consistently maintained a mature and composed demeanor. Pharrell is a married father of 4.
Now, earlier when I talked about Pharrell, this is the first time I'm watching this. I'm reacting to this for the first time. I haven't seen this, but he's a person that, you could say what you want. He always shows positive light to everything. You saw him there, that goes a lot further, a lot worse in other situations. People are dragging in security, drag him out of there. But no, you never hear him linked to the other things as these other moguls, they call him in the rap game. He's always done things the right way, it seems like. And it's a reason why we like him. People like him.
And this kind of beef seems to be something that he's too grown to deal with, whereas Drake seems to have an age problem as he continues to navigate getting older but clinging on to his youthful lifestyle. Ultimately, Pharrell's response, or lack thereof, speaks volumes about his priorities. While Pusha T and Kendrick Lamar have taken Drake head-on in lyrical battles, Pharrell doesn't engage, not because he's indifferent, but because he knows his energy is better spent elsewhere. In contrast, Drake's efforts to provoke him seem more like the actions of someone looking for validation, rather than a true rival. But YouTube thinks you'll love the video on screen. Click to watch now.
And there you have it. That was why Pharrell disliked Drake.
Drake has always been known to get in
it
his
seemed
feelings
like
from
it
time
wasn't
to time.
just it wasn't just Drake. It seemed like it was Wayne. It started with Baby. And those are things I never knew about. I never knew that apparently Baby, they did a song together and Baby didn't pay Pharrell. Now, I don't understand, like, if you guys are all on the come up helping each other, why would you not want to pay that? Like, it was a big song. Everybody knew it happened, but hey, at least now we know why some of it happened. Now, you don't always get to see things as they happen. So I like to go back, check it out, see what I missed. And apparently this beef's been going on for over a decade. And I don't think they'll ever patch it up, because that's how it go with them things. But good music's getting made. It keeps us listening. We always like Pharrell, and he's been a good artist. Why he hates Drake? I guess because he was hanging out with Birdman and Wayne. But hey, right here's another video. Peace.